It was 4:45 when I got there. I had to look around to see if the wine cellar had been robbed. And I cut the leather...
So he got there at 4:45.
Uh-huh.
Did we already write that?
Yeah. I didn't see a single thing below the steps, Doctor, not one single thing.
Wait.
Right, 5 minutes after getting to the number 29, I had to clip off.
So 5 minutes after he got there, right?
So, 4:50. And now they tell me that either I can see Nate... Okay, so it was 4:50 when he left.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Interesting.
Now, let's put the Richardsons' arrival and departure times on the timeline. Despite the great respect I have for Dr. Phillips and the value I place on our friendship, my deepest conviction is that both of you are mistaken and that Richardson is in the right and that these two testimonies put down in writing have real worth.
But how? Explain yourself, Holmes.
Remember how you assessed the time of death? You touched the fingers and body of the victim, but it was remarkably cold for this time of year. In addition, the corpse had been drained of bodily fluids. Its heat retention was therefore no longer the same as that of an intact corpse.
Egad! You're right, Holmes.
Oh, I've had some time to research, Watson.
Given these facts, my first diagnosis may have been off by half an hour, perhaps even an hour.
Thus, we can confirm Richardson's statement and establish that the murder was committed after 4:50 a.m. and not before 4:30 a.m. Excellent, Watson. All our people are now in place.
Yes, but Holmes, Miss Long claims to have seen the victim at around 5:30. But according to Kadosh, someone, most certainly the victim and her murderer, was already in the garden at 5:30.
Excellent observation, Watson. It must be noted, however, that these two witnesses, Long and Kadosh, saw the time shown on the clocks in the area, which are often inaccurate and went by their empirical and, in this case, erroneous estimate of how much time had passed. Thus, neither of these two times can be considered reliable.
Do you mean to say that these two testimonies might match?
Indeed. Let's put Miss Long's meeting with the victim at 2 minutes before 5:30.
Well, Miss Long's meeting with the victim 2 minutes before 5:30.
Okay. So, Miss Long.
Let's add Miss Long's meeting with the victim at 2 minutes before 5:30 a.m.
So 5:28.
Okay, 5:20. Oh, 5:28.
Not easy.
Mr. Kadosh claims to have passed by the Spitalfields Church at 5:32, which, given the distance from 27 Hanbury Street, would mean he was still at home at 5:31. Let's therefore put the end of his testimony at 5:31.
Okay.
So, move him over a minute.
Miss Long heard the man say to the victim, "Will you?" To which the victim responded, "Yes," which would suggest that an agreement was reached and that the transaction was imminent. They then proceeded to enter the garden, which puts the voices heard by Kadosh at 5:29.
So,
okay.
Move Kadosh hearing the voice. Well, no. No, that's the fall.
Oh.
Not that one. Press B. It's that other one. 5:20. Do you see up there?
I accidentally, put this away.
Oh.
That's okay.
We need Kadosh hearing a voice, not the fall.
So, this was at 5:24-ish. It is in a garden for a few minutes and then goes back in.
Yeah, that's when he heard it, isn't it?
I think this was supposed to be at 5:29.
Okay. It didn't say he heard a fall, though.
We had thought that Kadosh had left 27 Hanbury Street at 5:31 after having heard an impact against the fence. Thus, 2 minutes passed between the moment when Kadosh entered the house after having been in the garden the first time and the moment when he returns to go out again and leave for work. How long did he estimate this interval to be? 3 to 4 minutes. In light of all this, Watson, we can finally establish the time of Chapman's murder. Now, place the knife at the exact time.
So do you think it was at 5:35?
Could I see, those times, what's going on up there real quick? Can you let go of that one? So, let me see.
So, Kadosh...
Is there any way you could just go to the timeline and hover over them?
I can't.
Oh.
Kadosh is in his garden for a few minutes and goes back in. He hears voices. And that was at 5:20.
Yep.
And so, Kadosh hears a fall against his garden fence a few minutes after going back up, which was
at
at
5:29.
5:29.
What's at 5:31?
5:31 is Mr. Kadosh leaves his place to get to work. And
I think it's at 5:30.
oh, okay.
I mean, kind of hard to place it. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Could you try going up? Like, way up?
Try my best. Okay, here we go. Oh, oh.
This is not very well.
Ah, jeez. This is really dumb.
Go down all the way. So you're gonna... I don't know how to get it there, because there's too much crap in the way.
There is too much crap in the way.
Now
I got
then,
it.
taking into account that the local clock isn't exact and that a young man was off by a minute or two in his estimations of his comings and goings, we can confirm Miss Long's testimony and place the time of the crime at approximately 5:30.
Nice!
But in
Good
that
job!
case, Holmes, the man that Miss Long saw, is none other than...
That's right, Watson. It was the Whitechapel killer.
To think that Miss Long and Kadosh were only a few feet away from him.
Indeed, Watson. Had Miss Long passed just a little closer to the victim and her assassin, or had the young Kadosh popped his head over the fence out of curiosity, the killer would most certainly already be behind bars.
That's some stroke of luck he had there.
I couldn't agree more, Watson. But his luck didn't end there, given the mutilations inflicted upon this poor woman. What must be considered above all is the killer's obvious wish to remove one and only one specific organ. His surgery pinpointed the exact spot, avoiding superfluous incisions. This suggests the man possesses at least a minimal anatomical knowledge.
Are you suggesting a doctor or a butcher?
Perhaps, but the possibilities are still too broad to conclude with any certainty.
That's interesting,
Now
huh?
for the motive. Despite my almost complete lack of practical experience on the subject, I have a rather precise idea of the usefulness of a uterus and a vagina. Nonetheless, once they are separated from their usual envelope, I am more circumspect as to the uses one can make of them. What do you think, Watson?
Wait, you say he doesn't have sex?
He was saying he doesn't have
We
sex.
need a board, Watson.
Despite the fact that I'm a Giga Chad virgin...
A Giga Chad virgin!
I'm going to need you to tell me, Watson, you get laid all the time, mostly by me, but I'm sure by women once in a while. What does it do?
Maybe he's gay.
He's
There's
not
nothing
gay.
more to
He's
do
gay.
here.
I think Sherlock Holmes is asexual, actually.
You think so?
Yeah.
So, I thought I'd try opening this door.
Okay.
Ooh!
Wait, we have another room?
This is why, Sherlock's room, I think.
Oh my. So, let's see. Oh, he's got a mannequin. That's interesting.
He's a weird guy. Also, why does he have a chest on his bed?
I don't know.
Look, there's another mannequin here.
There's supposed to be more in here. Or maybe it's in Watson's room. Huh. Okay.
Weird room. We haven't been in here before.
No, but I remember there was something by one of the beds that we need.
Let's go look. There's gotta be more rooms in this dumb house, right?
We're Kitty Pride.
Here we are.
Cool. Alright, let's go in there. Their rooms are only separated by a very small layer of wall, and they knock 3 times if they want to have sex.
What the heck?
It's just a thing, but like they keep these 2 rooms as, you know, I don't know what you'd say, like an illusion that they're not together.
That makes sense, so people don't know.
Yeah.
But they actually are together.
Sorry, I accidentally popped my pop can, so hopefully that wasn't too loud.
That's okay.
But I was gonna say that I'm basically every Wattpad writer ever who has like a huge heart on every time 2 men are friends, and it's like, oh, they need to be together.
Holmes? We need a board, Watson.
We need a board.
Am I wrong?
No, I get it. I hear you. Oh, it was this board he was looking at. I think that Holmes and Watson should have sex on screen.
That's true. With polyamorous nickels.
That's it. Specimen for the sole purpose of study. What could have been the possible motives of the crime?
Well, not cannibalism. Oh, wait. Suppose it could be. Yeah.
Just apply human organ trafficking?
No.
No?
That's ridiculous. They wouldn't take the uterus for that.
Perhaps it was intended as a study specimen.
I have little faith in that theory. Hardly anything was taken from the Bucks Row victim.
So let's put it as no.
Yeah.
But yes was green.
No indication would suggest any type of ritual. Put that for... No, it's no.
Okay.
For black magic, put no... Yeah. Up.
Oh, sorry.
Black magic?
Watson, this line of investigation is far too vague. We don't have a single clue in support of such a motive. We can eliminate this hypothesis.
That's a good idea. Cannibalism.
Money would be to supply human organ trafficking, and I don't believe that.
Money, quite simply.
Even if this motive seems incongruous, we're in no position to deny or affirm it until we know whether a market for human organs exists.
So he said we have to leave that as a yes.
Okay.
We have to leave money as a yes.
Dementia can push men to commit vile acts.
For cannibalism?
I guess.
Holmes, what if it was cannibalism?
Even if the idea is unbearable, we can't ignore it as a possibility.
Okay, so
And
we'll
then
leave that as yes.
Holmes is like, can that damn violin player turn it down a little bit? And then the violin player that they hired has to go...
Elementary. What emerges from these possible motives for having removed the uterus from the second victim is that they implied that the killer could have carried out the same thing on the Bucks Row victim, yet didn't. This brings us to a terrible conclusion. Our killer has evolved in the space of only a few days, and if that's the case, had he already struck before the first murder to which we attribute him? And if the killer strikes again, what atrocity awaits his next victim?
We have to stop him, Holmes.
We shall do our best. This recent business of jars filled with formalin and of the American doctor might be a lead. Watson, inquire among medical circles to ascertain if there is a black market for human organs. The chances are slim, but this must be pursued.
Very well. What about you, Holmes?
I will send word to Inspector Aberline regarding our recent conclusions. I should also like to become a gas man and pay a visit to Bluto at the Wasp's Nest.
Understood, Holmes. I think one of my old university colleagues who works at the London hospital will be able to help me. I shall write him a note at once. He should be able to see me during the day. Afterwards, shall we meet here?
Yes, Watson. See you later, and good luck.
Sherlock Holmes is kind of a
I must
master
get
of
to the
disguise.
London hospital,
Oh,
where
I
my
didn't know
old
that.
university colleague works.
Oh, wait, so we have to be Watson and go there?
I guess. But I was gonna ask, does Watson ever get to sleep? He's up all night, now we're up during the day.
I don't know. Well, in the continuity of Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century, he's an android.
What?
Yeah, that was an actual show when I was a kid.
That's, really dumb.
I must get to the London hospital, where my old university colleague works.
I think it's just dumb.
Here you go.
I like the idea that he's just a normal guy.
To the London hospital, quick.
So Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century was a television series in which Sherlock Holmes is brought back to life in the 22nd century. It was by Dick Entertainment. By the way, Deke.
Oh, really?
Colleague agreed to meet me here in one of the London hospital rooms reserved for students.
It was nominated for a Daytime Emmy.
Was it good?
I remember it being fun, but it was really weird.
Maybe we should look
John,
at it sometime.
You're there already. Punctual as always. Tell me, you don't seem to be in good shape. Is it possible that your recent marriage is making you this morose?
That's rude.
You know me well, Andrew. No, it's a strange and terrible affair that concerns me. Have you read my note?
Yes, I admit that I was surprised. It just so happens that I, too, was asking questions about our morgue.
Well, I got a question. If Watson is married, why does he live with Sherlock?
I don't know, actually.
Because where's his wife?
I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe he doesn't live here all the time.
Okay, maybe. That's a good idea, yeah.
That's just an option.
I guess maybe during those few days he could have been with his wife.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd, though.
And he has a bed near Sherlock, too.
Of course,
Maybe
yes.
it's like a beard.
Maybe. Or maybe he just has sleepovers with Sherlock because of their investigations.
Yeah, and they're buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird. Hey, honey, I'm going to sleep over Sherlock's for a couple of nights.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, be home soon.
No.
What the heck?
He says no.
What do you think? Have you heard of any organ trafficking within?
No, John. No doubt there exists some exchange between colleagues. Not quite legal, of course, but nothing that can qualify as trafficking. Since the Anatomy Act of 1832, which permitted the use of unclaimed corpses for science, the black market trade was definitely halted. There are sufficient subjects available for all practitioners and students. Of this, I can confirm.
Well, organ trafficking as a lucrative trade is out of the question. Then what is troubling you with the morgue?
You are talking about trafficking organs, but I suspect there is trade in whole bodies.
Oh. I was having a question too. Are there like backwater doctors who buy organs from the black market? Otherwise, how would you sell them?
Well, MichiganDaily.com in 2022 said there are estimates that 10% of all organ transplants are performed using trafficked organs.
What?
Selling body parts as a commodity is often involuntary and typically preys on society's most vulnerable populations.
So
it does exist, it's just...
So some doctors get organs from people who were
kidnapped or sedated against their will. Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Wait, so why do they buy from those people?
I don't know. I don't really know.
Isn't that illegal?
I think it is, yeah.
Why do they do that?
But it does exist, yeah.
So you're telling me I could go have like a kidney transplant right now and my new kidney could be coming from
probably isn't.
I know, but it could be coming from some poor hobo on the street who got kidnapped.
I think it depends on where you are. I think it's much less likely to happen in America with like above board doctors that are watched over by all these medical boards and stuff.
But it happens in other countries.
Yeah, and I'm sure it can happen in America. Kind of like how, you could go to a doctor, or you could be like the Simpsons where they go to that, really seedy doctor.
Remember him? Boy, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It's just, that's horrible, because, like, doctors are supposed to save lives, so why would you buy from somebody killing people?
I don't know. It's not like the Hippocratic Oath is like a Harry Potter spell that, like, prevents you from breaking it. There's a lot of immoral people.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. And so
I don't want to think about it anymore.
So is human trafficking, and so is pedophilia and zoophilia and murder.
All right.
And, everything's messed up.
What do you mean to say? Whole bodies are disappearing?
Well, it's confidential, but I know of your discretion and your friendship with the famous Sherlock Holmes. I can tell you that a few corpses have recently disappeared from the hospital morgue. Cadavers that were intended for dissection. That is to say, not claimed, poor, unknown people. If a single corpse had disappeared, it might have been a bad joke. There are many students who pass through here. It's even a meeting spot. For the majority, they are here to work. A few come here in secret to practice. It also happens that instruments or organs go missing. Nothing alarming, but so many corpses. It's very troubling.
That's weird.
So, Watson's thinking that the Jack the Ripper guy must have been like a student here and was like practicing.
Yeah, that's very possible.
But the hospital doctors aren't doing anything?
No. That is to say, they would prefer not to call the police at this point. An investigation would no doubt result in the suspension of authorizations for the use of unclaimed corpses. Do you think that you could intercede on our behalf with Sherlock Holmes to clear up this situation?
I feel like they should make it so this room can only be used during classroom hours.
Mm-hmm.
And lock it normally.
Or like only with supervision.
Yeah.
Of like 2 or more licensed doctors in the room.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Which corpses are missing?
I don't know exactly, but I can make an exact list if you would like to wait here for a few minutes. Feel free to look around the room while you wait. It'll bring back memories.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew.
Okay, so this is interesting. I was reading about Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century, and I forgot about this. They literally exhume his corpse and bring it to this scientist who brings him back to life in order so that he can help the police, because there's a clone of Moriarty that's running around, which is Sherlock Holmes' nemesis, that was created by some geneticist. So then they use cellular rejuvenation to bring Sherlock Holmes back to life.
That's insane. He must be very out of place.
Yeah, he was at first, but he figured everything out.
So, Gosh, I was going to ask something, but then I kind of forgot.
I'm sorry.
It's here that students come to carry out their experiments.
Wait, there's only 26 episodes of Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century.
Oh. Well,
It never finished.
Probably because it was a shit show.
It was not a shit show. It was fun.
I'm just making a joke.
No.
It's just, I kind of feel like he wouldn't be able to solve mysteries as easily because of all of the technology and stuff.
Well, fair enough.
This surgical instrument resembles a screwdriver. How amusing. It might come in handy. I will return it later.
Weird. Why would you take that? That's odd.
It's here that students come to carry out their experiments. This rag is full of grease. It certainly wasn't used for a dissection. Was someone doing some mechanical work here?
Alright.
These wheeled trolleys are very handy for laying out surgical instruments.
Are we going to figure anything out here?
I'm not sure. I'm clicking on everything.
This wheel won't roll despite all of the added grease. Curious, as Holmes would say.
Weird. I wonder why the wheel won't roll.
Maybe there's something stuck in it.
Oh.
The last lesson must have been about the human heart. And for a class of beginners, I expect, as this diagram is rather rudimentary.
Rudimentary. That's not very nice.
Mill Creek Entertainment released Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd Century, the complete series, on DVD.
Not on Blu-ray, though?
We need
A
it.
message. Why the devil was it hidden here?
It was hidden by Sherlock Holmes from the 22nd century.
That makes sense.
He hid it back in time to find later on.
I'm glad you need it so badly. Do you want to read this?
Ethan Levy, 7 years old, son of Sarah and Jacob Levy. Hospitalized 18th of May. Syphilis, advanced stages.
Wait, how does he have syphilis?
Possibly an imminent subject. Monitor carefully. Vena cava superior, vulva orae, atrium sinistrium, trunculus big chungus.
Trumulus big chungus.
The magnet is in the heart. Use the board. What the
Weird.
magnet? This seems like something that, like, Professor Snape would teach Potter. Stupid Potter. Use atrium sinistrum, trungus big chungus leosis.
It sounds like this poor kid got syphilis because he was, touched.
Maybe. I think it's also
Horrible.
isn't it also contagious though?
Poor child, so young, yet terminally ill. Strange, someone scrawled something. Part of it is in Latin. These are instructions, it would seem.
What were you saying about the kid?
Just that I thought you could obtain it other ways other than just sex.
I don't know.
Yeah, it can also be contacted or person to
There is
person
a
by direct
heart in
contact
this
with a
jar.
sore.
Based on its colouring, it hasn't been there long. And it looks like the drawing on the board.
It can also be through a sore if you touch
This
a sore.
jar
Oh,
contains two
like if
lids
somebody who
with
has it?
combination locks.
Weird.
I am missing some information.
Try reading those things up there. Those are pieces of heart, like Valva,